Y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping. So, like, when I have the interviews on the Truth or Talk channel, usually we did this was the format for the podcast when we did it too, but I usually do the opening sequence, the intro, the interview, and then the extra. In the intro, I explained about the interview and why I was doing it, and a lot of people just were so triggered by the title, were so triggered by the guest that I had on, didn't even bother to like probably watch the video itself. So I'm just gonna make this video to reiterate for people that wanna know. All right, David reached out to me and asked me if I was interviewing, if I wanted to interview, you know, or talk about flat earth. And I was like, well, and I told him, because I don't want to have anybody on this channel, if I don't agree with him, I don't want them to feel like they're trapped or they're bamboozled. So I told him straight up, I was like, well, I think it's a psyop. I think it's a little silly on one hand. So if you come on, I'm gonna ask you those questions. I haven't really researched flat earth. I didn't know a lot about it. I remember the first time I heard about it, I was actually on a vaccine forum, and these guys or these people came out, they're like, you must believe in flat earth too. And I thought that was a reference to like centuries ago when people were saying the earth was flat. I was like, oh, I didn't know that there was a movement going on. When I found out, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. But I just want to focus on the things that I can fix now. Like, honestly, we've been lied to about so much, and we don't have the equipment, satellites, spaceships, all that stuff, to actually go and see this stuff for ourselves. You know, only a very few select people get access to that type of equipment. So we're basically relying on the trust of other people to tell us what is. We're relying on maps. I mean, anything. If you really want to take it that far, you can say, okay, well, I know the United States is this shape because of all the maps that I've seen. But you don't really know what the shape of the United States looks like. You don't know what the shape of the world looks like. You don't know if you're looking at a map, if they put all the countries on the map. I mean, this is like, you know, this is true. Like, come on, you guys. Like, am I lying? Am I lying? So my logic is like, well, we're trusting these people that lie to us to tell us stuff all the time. So if it is real, it's a possibility. My thing is, I'm not focusing on stuff right now that I can't do anything to fix. And if we're lied to about it, I'm just like, I won't even be surprised. I'm not invested in the shape of the earth to be surprised or feel bamboozled, because I've already felt bamboozled about a lot of stuff that we've been lied to already. So at this point, I'm just like, oh, okay. I kind of like that, but I wanted to hear what he wanted to say, and I see how a lot of the people who are flat earthers are treated are the same way that truthers are treated, that especially anti-vaxxers are treated, you know. And I'm just not the type of person that's gonna debunk somebody or to be dismissive of somebody or something if I haven't looked into it. So I had to be honest and be like, you know, I haven't really looked into it. And even that the interview that I had, I wasn't really looking into it. It was just kind of skimming the surface. I haven't looked into it. I can't debate it. I didn't really know exactly what questions to ask. So I just wanted to hear what this guy had to say. Very nice guy. Seems like he's very smart, very passionate about it. There are people, he mentioned Sophia Smallstorm. I know she's done great work on chemtrails, and I respect her work. So if she's thinking, you know, she's on that tip, I'm like, I'm interested to hear what she would have to say about that. And it's just kind of interesting to see people in the comment section that complain about being prejudiced against and dismissive or dismissed by other people that have the same attitude toward people that are that are flat earthers. And flat earthers now has become a pejorative. And I think also, you know, one thing I found interesting too, I got fact checked by Wikipedia. So anytime YouTube or Wikipedia fact checks you, leaves a tag in the bottom, it actually kind of has me wondering now, how legitimate is it? Because usually it seems like when they do that, they're trying to keep you from looking at something. Now now my curiosity has piqued even more because of that. But this is the thing. You can't expect people's paradigms to shift, because I have people mad at me on both sides. I have people mad at me because I dare interview a flat earther, and then I have people mad at me on the other side that I didn't get it and I wasn't awake and I'm not a believer yet. And you have to remember this. People's paradigms don't change fast, and they shouldn't. It took me a long time to get to the conclusions that I have now, but doing research and having experience and talking to people and, like, you know, letting some of this information sit and trying to use my own logic with all this stuff. So you're not going to just automatically read something and believe it, it might trigger you to go do more research, and then you have other experiences to believe it, or to, or you might know something intuitively that other people don't, and go on that. That's fine. But your paradigm, like, I don't think it's healthy for people just to hear one thing and automatically change their mind about something that they've been told is the opposite way for decades. So if I am going to get there, it's going to take me a minute, you guys, okay? A. B, if I decide to spend energy into looking into that. B, the people that are dismissive, like, come on, man. Like, really? If you just think you are the people that are reading this, you're the only ones that know this. If you really delve deep into this, like you say you have, or if you would know whether you've delved deep into it or not, you would know. But it's like, are you just listening to people like that you hear and you don't agree with what they're saying, or are you actually taking the time to cross-reference everything that they're saying and try to relate it to what you've been told in your life? Because there's a difference. That's what research is, right? So if you're not doing any of that and you're just like, oh, it sounds silly, oh my God, blah, 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 then you're being like the people that you're saying that are discriminating against you. My thing was, I said to stay with the integrity of why I started this channel, my best friend and I started this channel, it's about truth seeking. There are many different topics that come with truth seeking. There are many different sects of truth seeking, right? There are people that are more on the political spectrum, the people that are on the health freedom movement. There are people that are into like the spiritual truth seeking. There are people, and they all connect. They're all together, but there's still people that kind of stay on this side and stay on that side and stay on the bottom and stay in this corner. They don't really make an effort to try and weave all of these together. And that's another way, speaking of divide and conquer, which I talk about on this channel a lot of time, how they try and divide us by race and sex and stuff. Now, then within the truth movement, it becomes about ideology. And then it becomes this hierarchy of this truth or snobbery. We actually did a podcast on that years ago. And if you check our podcast out on SoundCloud, but it's truth or snobbery, right? Where there's like this hierarchy of trutherism or truth seeking. I was like, I believe this, and if you believe that, you're stupid, or you don't know, or you're dumb, or whatever. And you're just basically starting the same cycle over again that you're accusing other people of doing to you. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. So, I don't know. I just thought it was very interesting. I wanted to address that. And, it's like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I was getting private messages. People were like, oh my God, don't do it. Like, I'm about to smoke crack and I'm going to get addicted to crack. Right? I'm like, it was kind of amusing, but I'm just like, I don't have time for this shit. I just need to make a video to respond for all these people that think that, because I dare talk to. I can't even talk to anybody. I can't even have a conversation. What's like... Don't you see how hypocritical you're being? I can't even talk to somebody. It's the same thing that somebody, when a lot of people that are here because of patriotism, whatever, like the left doesn't want you to talk. You can't even talk to a Trump supporter? Or you just automatically, oh, you're like the devil now because you had a conversation with the Trump supporter? Oh, you can't even talk to an anti-vaxxer? You can't even have an anti-vaxxer on your show just to see where they're coming from? Right? You're no better. You really aren't. You really aren't. So, I'll be fine. Somebody was like, you're going to sink your channel. Dude, I'll be fine. I actually got more subscribers. I knew I was going to get heat for doing this interview, but I didn't know that. I didn't know so many flat earthers were going to come out of the woodworks. That was kind of funny. I didn't know some people that were subscribers were flat earthers. I knew I had a few, but I didn't know it was actually more than I thought. I thought that was very interesting. So, but that's it, you guys. I will be going to DC on the 6th. I hope some of you guys are there. I hope I get to meet some of you guys. I haven't been able to really go out to rallies this year, and I'm not, me guys. I don't do the mass thing, so I'm actually driving there. So I'm not gonna fly, but I'm excited to be able to actually meet some of you guys in person. If you see me, I'll probably have multiple layers of clothes on because I'm a more hot-natured person. But come and say hi, please. I would love to meet you. And that's it. Okay, guys, I will talk to you later. Peace, truth, and love. Bye-bye.